Push on the beat.
Right, 28 September 2025, and today I'm going to be giving you a quick short update on a Sunday, and I would like us to quickly look at what is happening in Africa. That is because I don't have many of my newspapers in front of me today. So let's quickly look at what is happening in South Africa. There is some top breaking news in South Africa. So I'm going to cover South Africa now. And then when I come back later, I'm going to give you the news in Zimbabwe. So let's quickly look at what is happening with the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. So reports today in the South African press is that the South African president, Ramaphosa, is going to be stepping down at the end of the G20 summit. So this is being carried by a newspaper called the Sunday World newspaper. So today, if you go to the Sunday World newspaper, you are going to see that they are reporting that Ramaphosa is going to step down at the end of the G20 or after the G20 summit. And he has not yet told members of the ANC, and they are going to be asking him today to explain what is happening. So the reason why Ramaphosa is going to be stepping down is because of the statements that he made, according to what I can deduce here, because they do not say it clearly that that's why he's stepping down. But let me show you the actual article, and then let's go through it and unpack what they're saying. So they're saying here, Ramaphosa exit headache for ANC. And the person who's going to take over here is Paul Mashatile or Gwede Mandashe. So this is the actual story here. And going down, it says here, if Spokes allowed that, he would be finished. So if Mashatile allowed Gwede to take over, he would never be president again. So apparently there's a deal that if Paul Mashatile was to take over, then Gwede will be vice president. So you can go and read this. Normally this newspaper gives their stories for free. So let's look if this story is for free online. So let me go there, sendaworld.co.za, and see if that story is free. So I cannot see it here for free quickly with a quick browse. I cannot see it for free, but it is in today's paper as I'm showing you right there in front. Also, that is the headline over there. They are also leading with the story that Tobeko Teboko Tebejane has refused what we call witness protection. She does not trust the South African police. I don't want to say anything about South African police. No one wants to say anything about South African police. So she doesn't trust the South African police, and Ramaphosa stepping down is going to be telling the ANC leaders today if he is stepping down or not, and if that is going to happen at the end of the G20 summit. So an interesting story, a big story in Africa. The implications are massive, especially for SADC. You are aware that next year, SADC is going to be having South Africa as chair. Not only that, there are currently negotiations underway. That is between the United States of America and South Africa. And at the moment, what has happened is that the United States has now formally responded to South Africa. So if you look at today's press, the United States of America, which has been refusing to engage with the South African government, has now presented a formal written response to South Africa's request for a trade deal. The South Africans have now asked the Americans to provide a revised text, which will then will be taken to the South African cabinet, and then that text will then be discussed between the two countries. with the eventual decision being made by the US Senate. So the reason is that there is a facility called AGOA, which I believe has not been renewed, and it will need to be renewed by Congress. And the problem which is between South Africa and the United States is because of two things. So that is the relationship of South Africa with Iran, the relationships of South Africa with the Hamas, and then the triple BEE rules of South Africa. So the Americans want the South Africans to change certain things before there's a trade deal, and that is in progress. As I said, the Americans have literally been blue ticking the South Africans, refusing to talk to them, and now they've agreed to talk to the South Africans. They've written a response to the trade deal which was proposed by South Africa. So very interesting period for South Africa, and we're going to be unpacking it here as it happens. G20 summit is going to be happening, and J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States, is going to be here to accept or to take over the G20 presidency. And so this is ongoing. However, what is important today is that Ramaphosa is set to step down, and he won't be finishing his term if what is in this newspaper is correct. So today, there will be a confirmation to the ANC leadership, or top 6 who we are looking at here. They will be asking Ramaphosa to confirm if he is stepping down or not. So that is in the Sunday World newspaper. Go and check it out. And as I said, this newspaper widely available for free. Mostly if you're at the airport, you can pick up a copy for yourself. All right, I think we've covered that. Let us quickly go through other news. And today, as I said, I won't have a lot of stories. My newspapers are not out. Almost all of them are not yet out. So we're going to keep it short. Let us now go to a disaster that has taken place at Mutare. So what has happened is that another man has died while performing rituals. So what has happened is that, and this story was published this past week. So the man you're looking at here is Headman Chigodora. And Headman Chigodora has explained how a group of gold dealers have arrived at a falls. So there's a falls which is in Mutare, which is very much sacred. It's called Nyachoa Falls. I talked about it a few weeks back. So Nyachoa Falls is used for rituals by people that perform money rituals. So they arrived there, and the man who has passed away here is a very powerful spirit medium called Venon Ndemaji, who is 31 years old. He is originally from Chinoi, somewhere there, and he arrived with his brother and 4 people. So that is 4 assistants and 2 gold hunters. So they do gold deals, or they do money rituals to mermaids or mermaid spirits. So when they arrived, they were very rowdy. They arrived with beer and rice. So that is what you use to appease the mermaid spirits. They were told not to take in those items. They refused. And then when they entered, they refused to pay the fee for so the fee is about $2 per person. They only paid $3, and they went in. After a while, the brother, Godfrey, went back to the people at the gate and said that his brother had disappeared into the water. He was not found for 5 days. And then, so that was for 14th. They only got the body on the 20th. And what has happened here is that, obviously, it is assumed that mermaids have taken him. That is what the community thinks. But Headman Chigodora said maybe it's not mermaids. But all I can tell you is that place, a lot of people go there. Last week, when there was an international conference called Hlanganani, the headman says they had to remove so many items like rice, clothes, clay pots, because many people in Zimbabwe are engaged in these money rituals. So what this man was known for, the man called Vernon Demaji, was his power to control water. So he was known for being able to split water. And that means you'll be able to walk in the middle of water. He can part water with his powers. Unfortunately, I think the mistake that they made was to go in there and try to do those rituals. I don't know what happened, but apparently he had so many powers that people knew him and he kept going to this Nyachoa Falls. It's one of the falls that I've given you. There are a number of places where people do money rituals and mermaid rituals and called Manjuzu. So he has disappeared and he has passed away. He was buried in Chitungwiza. I believe that burial took place last week. So still many people conducting these money rituals in Zimbabwe. Then let's look at other things. South Africa, a new nuclear plant is going to be built. So the nuclear plant they're looking at here is Kobeck. It's in Cape Town. So if you're in Cape Town, this is right next to Table Mountain, just a few kilometers. You can see Table Mountain from here. They're building a new nuclear plant after this one. You have seen the story of the TVET college called College of Cape Town. They're now looking for new council. So you saw the parliamentary portfolio committee, which was talking to the principal, and now they're looking for 4 members of the council. And then what else do we have? Let's quickly browse through other things that I have got here. Massive mining taking place at Mutare, uncontrolled mining by the Chinese. They are blowing up the mountains. And one of the most popular blogs right now, The Mountains All Around Us by Andrew Field, is showing this mining. And they believe that there are powerful forces or powerful politicians in Zimbabwe who are involved with the Chinese who are mining that mountain or mountain range. So these are all tourist ranges, but they're being mined by the Chinese who are using heavy equipment to blow up the mountains and dig for gold. That is happening in Mutare as we speak. Right, I think we've covered most of stuff that I have. Let's quickly look at other newspapers which have published. As I said, if any of the other newspapers publish, I'll be able to come back with you and give you the details. Let's start with Sunday News. And in fact, let's see if they've published. Then I'll be out of here. If not, so the Standard newspaper, the Newsday newspaper, and the Independent newspaper, they appear to have closed. So I can't find them on any of my platforms. I do not know what is happening. And then Sunday News, as I said, is late today, so we don't have the Sunday News. Okay, we now have the Sunday News newspaper. So let's look at Sunday News, and then we're out of here. So what is Sunday News saying? Sunday News is based in Bulawayo, or they cover mostly Machiavellian stories. So let's see what they're saying here. So I'm going to start. No nation can prosper in isolation. That is the speech that was read by Aaron. Is it Aaron Murwira? I keep saying Amon. I don't know why, but it's Aaron Murwira. He read a speech on behalf of Mnangagwa. And then Supreme Court limits NEC powers in labor disputes. What else do we have here? Gokwe Town Council annual budget. So if you're in Gokwe, go check it out. And then let's see what else is of interest here. What is Mnangagwa doing? Mnangagwa is going to be the guest of honor at Mine Entra, and that is on what is the date here? I'm not seeing the date, guys. 9 October. So on 9 October, Mnangagwa is going to be at Mine Entra at ZITF. So you can go and check out this. I'll put it on Gambakwe. So let me clip it for you. For those who are in a far away place, one not going to be able to see this newspaper. So mine Endra, that is Munangagwa, is going to be the guest of honor over there. Right. So I've copied for you. You'll be able to get it in Gambakwe. And then let's look at other things very quickly. Townsend High, honors high achievers. Let's see the girls of Townsend High who are high achievers. So there it is. You can see the girls of Townsend High over here. And then Townsend High School headmistress, Miss Tokozile Shabalala, featuring over here. Very nice. Well done, Townsend. And then Plumtree High celebrates academic excellency. Plumtree High now has girls. Can you believe it? This used to be boys high. They now have boys and girls. And they even have Macheso. Macheso over here. It's amazing. I didn't know that Plumtree High now has girls and boys. So it used to be a boys' high school. It's now a mixture. Now let's look at the log. This is amazing. So this is the log after what happened yesterday with the Dynamos at 29 points, Kwekwe at 10 points, still firmly at the bottom. That is Dynamos. And then Scotland now at the top, Simba Bora number 2 with the 29 matches. So you can see that everyone has played 28 games except for Manika, Chicken, Ngezi, and Scotland. So today we're hoping that Dynamos will win and then they'll jump up to just above Greenfield over there. We don't want Dynamos to be relegated. That would be a disaster. Then Skonjo wanted to be, or Babongile Skonjo wanted to be the chairperson or the chairman of Highlanders at one point. So Highlanders is celebrating his life. The Highlanders have been dealt a painful setback with the death of Babongile Skonjo, one of the key architects behind the club's upcoming 100-year celebrations. So you can go and check it out over here. Babongile, extremely popular person. There is no person as popular as Babongile. You can see how popular he is. Or he was. He's going to be a key feature of the city of Lawa for a very, very long time. And as I said, Zimbabwean High School, one of the best schools ever. It has produced so many people worldwide. Most of the guys who have come out of Zimbabwean High School have gone on to do well. And even the teachers, people like IASA, where Sandra Ndebele was, that group was formed by Nkululeko Dube. Nkululeko Dube was school together. The former vice or deputy public protector of South Africa, Kevin, were together. Malunga, he was at Mzingwane. Massive number of people have done so well who came from Mzingwane High School. And that was a school, a government school. So that was the amazing part. So well done. Most of us were educated by American expatriates who came at the time when I was at that time with Irish, we had American expatriates over here. Who doesn't know Miss Allison from America, who used to give us stickers for English. So if you did well in English, you ran to her office, she'll give you some stickers. We're doing so well at that time. And that was probably one of the best government schools at that time. Well done to the government of the past. So the people from the past who set up schools, they did so well. I don't know whether government schools are so well now. And just down the road after Esgodini, there is Falcon College. So Falcon College are doing so well. You know that Falcon College is one of the best in schools for sport. We used to play rugby with them. We're not so good, but we did used to play rugby with Falcon College. So that was interesting and amazing. That is Esgodini, Zimbabwean High School. Babongile went over there. All right, I want to quickly look at Sunday Mail. We've seen a publication of Sunday Mail here. No nation can prosper in isolation. Same speech that was being presented by Minister Aaron Murigura. And then parallel market rates retreat as forest reserve to balloon to 900 million. And then exercise blue Lugwasho enticement to regional cooperation. You know that the Air Force of Zimbabwe was in Zambia, where they performed exercises with the government of Zambia, with the Air Force of Zambia. And then Chief of Staff in the operations, Air Force of Zimbabwe, Vice Bulletin Chungono was over there. You can see it. Okay, I think we've covered most of PSC moves to ensure dignified retirement of government workers. This is said, guys, government workers, it's a mess. And then Professor David Chikodzi has been appointed as the Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs, Research and Innovation. I'm going to put this for you on Gambakwe, so I'll clip it for you so that you can see Professor David Chikodzi over here doing so well. And then what else do we have here that we need to cover? Mine Entra, we've said Nangaba is going to be at Mine Entra, and then vacancies from Net 1, field operations engineer, technical assistant, electrician assistant, general mechanic assistant. So those are the jobs inside of the Sunday. This Sunday mail, yes. And then here is the burial of Pamongile, the daughter Guguletu lays flowers on his grave in Mlowezi village, Uganda. So I didn't know that he had an adult daughter at all. I didn't know. So I saw the young man at 12 years. We posted him yesterday speaking about the death of his father. And then Zera has got a statement here. So I'm just giving you the important stuff that's in this newspaper. If we get anything else, I'll post it on Gambakwe.com. You'll be able to see. All you have to do, if you want to go to Gambakwe, you click on that QR code over here on the top left. You'll be able with your phone to go to Gambakwe.com and see these stories that I'm sharing with you here. So massive number of adverts inside of the Sunday Mail newspaper. Amazing number of adverts. So many of them. The newspaper is doing very, very well. Okay, so as I said, a lot of stories about Mabongile. Almost all the newspapers are very sad, and many of you would obviously not have known him beyond of the actual public work that he was doing. So you wouldn't have known about how he grew up, how he was like at school. Very quiet guy. He was very, very quiet at school. I was actually surprised that he became such a big star inside of the media. So it was crazy for me to find out. But as I said, many of the guys who came out of Zimbabwean High School have gone on to do work in engineering overseas. We've got so many people overseas, UK, New Zealand. In fact, like any other Zimbabwean school, we've got so many people out there. The only thing is that the school didn't have massive resources. So you've got kids coming out with very little resources. The culture at the school was amazing. So most of the guys went through Mutare Dube. And Mutare Dube, at that time, he was the headmaster. And I think the culture that he put through at the school, that is what meant, what made a difference. So many people at Mzingwane High School. So sad to see Babongile passing away so suddenly. And as I say, almost every newspaper covering that story. So let's now go to our people. So I cover quite a lot of people. Let's look at what they've posted. So what did our people post today? Let's see. I want to check out what our people have posted. So we're going to check out our Facebook. Right. We're going to obviously give you the outcome of the election in Seychelles today. They're going to be presenting their results. So Seychelles is presenting their results today after a 3-day election. So let's see what Minnie has said today. So we're going to start with Minnie because I know she was at a certain event. So she's sharing Miss Universe Zimbabwe here. I think I showed this yesterday. So what's happening with Miss Universe Zimbabwe? So I cannot see the date, but it says 28 September. Today is 28 September with the headliner Job Praiser, Diloy Mugaratia, Misread, Showmaster, and this is an event which is going to be taking place where I don't see properly here because obviously my screen is quite small, but there's Miss Universe Zimbabwe all white send off, and you can go check out. I think I see Miss Universe Zimbabwe at the top there, and all the people that are going to be there with her. So I think Minnie is going to be over there. So check it out on her Facebook page. So let me actually see the instruction. It says, attend the Lost in Ashes premiere at Westgate Mighty's Diaries. Sunday, attend the Miss Universe Zimbabwe send-off party at Mbare Grills. See you there. The only woman with a gun. The only woman with a gun. Minnie, go check it out. I don't think she will bring a gun. And then there is Madam Boss. You know how much I hate Kambuya. Madam Boss, please don't do it. So there's Madam Boss. And then obviously Sansoya promotion. So many things being promoted. Let's see who is this young lady. 5 collected the hampers. So she had a competition. And looking great. I've never met Madam Boss myself. I hope to meet her very soon. We'll see how it goes. And then let's go to Shidosa Nyatwe. What is she saying here? Weekend in Nyanga North. It was always a good feeling mixing and mingling with the people of Nyanga constituency. So she's very busy in this constituency. Okay. So there she is. I don't know what is going on, but she's meeting people from Nyanga North. You can go and check it out. And then President Hakainde Hichilema, let's see what he's doing. And obviously, we're going to look at Auxilia, Lord of the Sabbath. Fill our heart with the song, grant our nation your joy and unity always. That is President Hakainde Hichilema. I like President Hakainde Hichilema, he's amazing. And then President Juma Boko over here. Is he back from New York? Let's see if he's back from New York. He's still in New York because I can't see any update here. And then let's go to X and look for Auxilia Mnangagwa. What did Auxilia Mnangagwa do yesterday? She's been updating this for a long time. So let's see what First Lady of Zimbabwe is doing. So please follow m31zimbabwe.com. We're going to do very well. M31 Zimbabwe is amazing. So look at that. So that is First Lady of Zimbabwe. She last posted on 26 September. She hasn't posted anything new. But while we're looking at the burial of Sichavo Zwanuisi, a 31-year-old man was killed by his girlfriend in Midrand. So he was stabbed during a fight with his girlfriend over there. And then who else do we see? Susan Mutami. She's showing off her kids with Temba Muliswa. You can see over here. I've never met Susan Mutami. I've never talked to her. Pacific International Taekwondo is following after his father. Taekwondo. So let's go to Chamisa. What is Chamisa saying? Nelson Chamisa, my homeboy. If I leave my village, I'll walk and we'll have breakfast together. If I leave at 5 a.m., I'll be at his home. Be sober. But as for you, speak the things which are proper for sound doctrine. That the older men be sober, relevant, temperate, sound in faith, in love, in patience. Titus 2, verse 1 to 2. Blessed Sabbath, our God is in it. God is in it. Then we can obviously see the baby. Chamisa is looking for this baby called President Chamisa. So that is Nelson Chamisa over here. Do these guys even maintain Mnangagwa's page? Like, do the guys of Zimbabwe office, president's office, maintain Mnangagwa's office, Mnangagwa? Even if you don't fix my Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Zingai, It's president of Zimbabwe. Ndokudzingai, mukatamba ndokudzingai. If you don't fix my YouTube, Twitter, in don't TikTok, ndokudzingai. So they do maintain and update this page, but not as regularly as they should. So president of Zimbabwe, and then obviously Sanyatwe. The only person without a Facebook is Chiwenga. Chiwenga needs social media. At the moment, he doesn't have social media. He needs to have social media because if he doesn't have social media, he can't talk and people doesn't know what he's doing. But maybe it's a plan. I don't know. But he doesn't have social media. Chiwenga doesn't have social media. He's the only person with no social media. So you never know what he's thinking. And then obviously, we've got Temba Mliswa. He's been going off on Mnangagwa deputy, that is Chiwenga, and Blessed Geza has been out missing in action. We don't know what he's doing. No update since the last time that he talked. So that is Blessed Geza. Is not updated since the 19th of September. Right, I think we're doing very well. Zimbabwe is doing well. We are going to be heading in the right direction, particularly with the Gambakwe 2028. You know that Gambakwe 2028 is the only game in town. We've got a plan. The rest of the people don't have a plan. And we're going to do so well. Go check out all the updates that I give on Gambakwe.com, on the website m31zimbabwe.com. We have a plan to develop our country dramatically and to make Zimbabwe a jewel, a tourism-based economy. This is the picture of Gutu Mpandawana in 3 years. What we're going to do is amazing. We're going to do so well. Our civil servants, don't forget that you should not vote for people who doesn't promise you anything. If someone just comes and says, vote for me because I remove Mnangagwa, that's not enough. There is our 8 pillars. $1,500 tax-free, 160 new towns, high-speed rail, only 8 ministries, military planned city, homecoming, and a tourism-based economy. So that is what we promise for you. And you're going to have a president that is energetic, that is available. Not someone who's just going to come after 2 weeks and quit. So in 2028, there will be 3 main contenders. That is Gambakwe, Chiwenga, and Chamisa. So the 2 cheese. Cheese. Chamisa Tomuj cheese. Chiwenga Tomuj cheese. None of those 2 can beat me in an election. Now let's go to the comments. Chamisa is too good for you, Gambakwe. He is 2,000 years ahead of you. That is why you talk about bad about him. Chamisa is the ball. That is why you mark him. Chamisa is no one. What has he ever done? Koma Timothy, what is Chamisa's plan? What is Chamisa's plan for war veterans? What is Chamisa's plan for civil servants? What is Chamisa's plan for high-speed rail? What is Chamisa's plan for diaspora? What has he ever said in the past 6 months? Have you ever seen him on video? Is Chamisa even there? You see, those things that I'm asking you, you don't even know the answers. When have I ever talked bad about Chamisa? What bad thing did I ever say about Chamisa? Why would I talk bad about Chamisa? For what reason? Really, as I said to you, Chamisa is my homeboy. From my village to Chamisa's village, you walk. President Gambakwe's value proposition is way out of this world. There is no way that these guys are close to me. What is Chiwenga's plan when he takes over? Besides telling us that he was in the war, what other thing don't we know about what has happened in the past? What is the future? So between Chiwenga and Chamisa, none of those 2 can beat me in an election. Civil servants, are you going to vote for a person with a plan, or you're going to vote for a person with no plan? It's up to you. So if it doesn't happen that he steps down, we will ask you because NC doesn't work like Zanu. I just showed you the newspaper. I'm not the one come to me. Here is the newspaper that says Ramaphosa is going to step down. There. Today's newspaper is there. Not me. That is Ramaphosa is going to step down. He's going to be asked today. And the answer will be out. So these guys are waiting to ask him. What I do here is to give you news, not to make the news. So I don't make the news. And then it tells you media politics. Chamisa is no one. Chamisa, don't even tell me about Chamisa. Chamisa knows very, very well that if we are in a race, first energy-wise, who in this country, in fact, who in the whole world can stream as much as Gambakwe? Who's got a plan to pass information as much as Gambakwe? Jamurkuzi about Chamisa Zwajo, you heard it from Gambakwe. So he's not going to win against me. Chamisa is not even the person I'm contesting. I'm going to be contesting Chiwenga. Chiwenga, I'll beat him so badly. ZANU-PF is only getting 25% of the vote. Do you see how confident I am? That's because we've got a plan. There's no teacher, nurse, police, soldier, Air Force, prison service, or civil servants who's going to vote for someone with no plan. You Munufan and Zara. Munufan and Zara. They've got no plan. Gambakwe's plan is simple and it's clear, and we communicate it very, very well. Look at that. Clean and simple 8 pillars, without a doubt. So those are our 8 pillars, and we are the winning team. So if you don't follow what we're talking, Munofan and Zara, just remember that. Munangagwa, muchamutsvaga, Munangagwa, mukavotera timiri. If you vote Chiwenga, if you vote Chamisa, muchamutsvaga Munangagwa. Kutotsvaga Munangagwa, because zvinenge zvichiitika zvaizvo zviri worse. Zviri worse. So vote for Gambakwe. 160 new towns. That is the game changer. You have never seen an economy like what we're going to bring about. And that is a promise. It's a promise. What else do I want to look at? Let's look at the Sunday Independent before I go. So Sunday Independent is out. And then I'm out. Guys, I am so confident. I've got no doubt about what we're planning to do. Mucheta mari mukazvirega. We're going to have at least 160 millionaires from the towns. So that is our plan. So let's look at Sunday Independent. He says Moerane Commission board move. Catholic bishops declare war on Manjuzo rituals. And then how AI can shape up rural growth in South Africa. I want to come back here. And then I'll give you guys what I think about AI, what we're going to do. And most of you don't understand how AI is shaping the world. So I'm just about to go to gym. So I'm rushing. I'm just about to go to gym. So let's quickly look here at what is going on. That is 2 ladies shaking each other's hand. Umlaba and Uban. So let's talk about AI quickly. So how is AI going to shape Zimbabwe? Firstly, education is going to be totally changed. So that is where we're starting. Kids are not going to be going to the normal school. So we're going to change education. The current model is wrong and it's old. Secondly, self-driving. So on top of high-speed rail, we're going to introduce self-driving. Our people in the rural areas don't have cars, and there are places where we don't have transport. So self-driving is going to be big. If you go to China right now, buses are moving around self-driving, and we also have self-driving smaller cars. So in terms of military, we're also going to do a lot of automation. So AI is going to shape what we're doing. Your army is going to be totally different. So the game of numbers is going to change. We're not going to have a game of numbers, and then we're going to have self-driving. So that is going to drive development in the rural areas. You know that the grandmothers can't drive. So when we fix infrastructure, we're going to put self-driving. So when you're leaving Pachikoko, going to Kwanegovano, if you're leaving Pagede, going Pachirorwe, those are going to be self-driving areas. You don't need, there's not a large number of people. So a grandmother will be able to jump into a car and it will drive her to Negovano. These things are happening in China as we speak. The buses are already self-driving in China. So as I said, go and look at what I said about how we're going to deal with China. And that is a policy proposition that I've put. We've done a lot of videos on how we're going to deal with the different people. So China, policy on China, policy on white farmers. We've done policy on the army. I'm going to unpack the army, how we're going to change the army in future. So automation of the army, we're going to talk about it. Also the military engineering corps, we've talked about a planned city for the military, intelligence, prison service, police. So if you live Vanasingazi, so people who are going to be telling you about democracy and all that, it's natural. Democracy is natural. You will never hear me talking about democracy, what, because those are built in. The constitution of Zimbabwe is not a problem. The problem is the people implementing that constitution. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you so much freedom. The unions, we're going to allow them to operate. The political parties are going to allow them to operate. We are going to shut down ZBC. That is one of the promises I'm going to make you. ZBC, ZTV, all that, we're going to privatize all that. We are going to give it to the people who are running it. So the employees are going to take it. We've got no time to control information. We're going to do so well that you'll be begging to talk to me. That is how we're going to do it. Because we don't have time for... Look at me here right now. I'm one person, right? We are going to create hundreds and hundreds of people like me who are going to be disseminating information. So the time we're going into, we're not going to waste money paying for propaganda at ZBC, paying for Ministry of Cooperatives, Ministry of Youth, Ministry of Women, Ministry of War Veterans. That kind of government model is over. We're not going to waste our tax money on such things. Do you know how many people right now are in things that don't make sense in Zimbabwe? We're going to shut them all down. Our government is going to be so small. And then we're going to have devolution. Devolution, when you're in Masvingo, you're going to do Masvingo. We're going to build so many towns there and move your people there. We're not going to be trying to control the whole country in that manner. So the new model of government that we have is going to make you extremely wealthy. And if you don't take it, muchafa nenzara, because vanhu vamuri kuvhotera vana Chamisa, they can't describe what they want to do. Imagine Chamisa waking up in 2027 trying to think what to do. Or Chiwenga waking up in 2028 and trying to describe what he's going to do. As I said, he's not even on Twitter, he's not even on YouTube, he's not even on X. So imagine Chiwenga waking up and trying to describe what he's going to do. He's going to default to what Mnangagwa is doing. The problem Mnangagwa has done is when he stepped into office, he had no plan. So he jumped onto whatever Mugabe was doing. We don't want that. We want a good government that will do a lot. And we want clarity. We want clarity to work clear. We are clear that Gambakwe is not the one who knows. So in each province that people know. That's why we're doing devolution. And that's why we're having a small government. So we won't spend most of the time trying to be the one who knows, to control everything. And as I said, investors are going to flock into our country. No country like Zimbabwe. Describe. So I've taken a lot of time. Gambakwe, yes, pageneti. Ndakambomwa koko. Inonaka pageneti. And then pachikuku pamusha pedu. Chikuku. It's a 30 minutes walk from Chikuku. And then wenda pamusoro apo pana sekuru wangu pachivaka pamusoro apo pana sekuru masuka obva ipapo wenda kumsoroko. I know all those places. I walk them on foot. I grew up and I studied my primary school at neighborhood primary school. After that, pakaita cyclone idai. Tisu takavaka ma toilets epatafara. Tafara High School lost all their toilets. And myself, Anna Freeman Chari, and a lot of other friends of mine, we put some money together. Kind of Wakama toilets epa Tafara High School. And anyway, Gambakwe, Sekuru wangu, the great Gambakwe, is in charge. Is in charge. Mafanisi, munoma wanza wamniki, chimbomire kurotomoka, kutonganyika, akudi, akusikita se media. That's what you think, Simbarashe. Munofunga kutonganyika is violence. You're going to see. We are going to do something that you've never seen. And I want civil servants to understand. Without what we're telling you here, planning, munofane nzara. Tokurega muchifane nzara. And I munovotera Chamisa, kauti Chiwenga muone. Mufane nzara. Come to Zimbabwe and campaign on the ground, raw areas and urban. So you think Utina do Zimbabwe, na Ashton, Munyanjods. You think I will not come to Zimbabwe? You think my civil servants, my army, my police, my intelligence are going to let you within the batter just so that will knock kids good and just make them suffer like you've made them do for 45 years? Canada Tanga Wondo, it is a Murugi, it is an Ashton. Would you think about the Gambakwe in Zimbabwe? In fact, our campaign model is not going to, I will never step in raw areas. You won't see me there. I've already said it. We're not going to the raw areas to campaign. That's not where we're campaigning. We're going to do so in the cities. That is what we're going to do. The people who are going to campaign in the provinces are the people, our MPs, our councillors, our senators. I'm not going to be campaigning over there myself. We've got a lot of work to do for the civil servants. So our focus, every civil servant is going to register, every military is going to register, every intelligence is going to register, every Air Force is going to register. We want everyone in Harare to vote. We've got over 1.8 million people registered in Harare, and only 800,000 of those voted last time. We want that 1 million. In Bulawayo, we've got 800,000 people registered. Only 360,000 people voted. So don't even think kuti muchata matrix. And anyway, Chiwenga is not going to do violence. I believe that Chiwenga is not going to do violence. And guys, the time has changed. You see kasmile musazofunga kuti atigoni kudhila nazvo, tinogona kudhila nazvo akudarika vanhu vamajaira. We can deal with it. And hapana violence inodiwa, hapana violence inodiwa. This time around, people are tired of being used. 45 years in Nzara. No, we don't want Nzara anymore. Come with your plan. And all these people don't have a plan. They don't have a plan. Chiwenga ana plan, Chamisa ana plan. You will see, just because I've given a plan now, they are going to struggle so badly. Atidivan was not planned. And we're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to tolerate it. All right. I think we've covered everything. And it's going to get hot. Kucha pisa. Because Mnangagwa is gone. And even Mnangagwa ngaende. Aenda Mnangagwa. The time of him to go is here. Next week, there's going to be the ZANU-PF Annual National People's Conference. Chiwenga is going to be probably come out on top, is going to prevail. Then tuona kuti munogona here campaign against Gambakwe. Because my message has reached everywhere. And the plan is up there. Can you come up with a better plan? That is the question. All right, because so what to say is, and what to say, let's recap, then I go. We said President Cyril Ramaphosa is, according to the Sunday World newspaper, going to step down after the G20 summit, which is going to be held in South Africa. And he is going to be asked today by the top 6 of the NC if he's actually stepping down. And if he steps down, the vice president, you are seeing over there, Mashatile is going to take over, or Gwede, who is at the center there, is going to take over. There is an arrangement between these two, according to the newspaper, that if Mashatile becomes president, Gwede will become vice. But there's also a possibility that Gwede will become the president until the next elective conference. So go check it out in the Sunday World newspaper. Then there is a tragic situation that has happened in Mutare, where a man has died, a powerful man who was known for splitting water with his powers, has died after being taken by supposed mermaids. So that is Headman Chukwudai watching here. He's describing, if you go to YouTube, you're going to see the full video. If you go to Manika Post newspaper, you see the full article about how they died, how the guy died, and then the body was found after 5 days. So it is thought that mermaids took him. The ritual is called Manjuzu ritual or the Mehmed ritual is being performed so many times. Here, one of the places or the 5 places where Manjuzu rituals are performed. And on top of that, last month we showed you other women who died during the same ritual. Okay, I think we've covered it. Zimbabwe is going to do very well. Go to Mpandawana is going to look like this under Gambakwe 2028. Siangena. See you guys later. During the day, I'll be back here just to give you updates. And then I'll see you again tonight as we give you the results from the sessionist elections. Or as soon as they release them, I'll give you an update if they do it during the day. Thank you very much for watching and a good day to you all.